On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu shifts a 2025 budget presentation to National Assembly on Wednesday. In business, Nigeria's inflation rate rises to 34.6% in November 2024. On the foreign scene, Christine Lagarde says European Central Bank will continue to cut interest rates. And in sport, Harry Maguire says statement derby win will boost Manchester United's belief. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodio. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Niconsat. The 47.9 trillion naira 2025 budget presentation to the joint session of the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu, earlier fixed for Tuesday, December 17, has been shifted to Wednesday, December 18. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio had, during the announcement at the Thursday's plenary, announced that President Tinubu will present the 2025 budget on Tuesday. Akpabio announced that the budget presentation will occur at the House of Representatives chamber, informing the lawmakers that plenary will be at 10:30 a.m. to allow senators to meet in the Red Chamber before moving in procession to the House of Representatives chamber, where the budget will be presented. The proposed 2025 budget will be President Tinubu's second full budget to be presented to the National Assembly since his assumption of office in May 2023. The expenditure framework was approved with a new borrowing plan of 9.22 trillion naira, constituting domestic and foreign borrowings. The Defense Headquarters has refuted claims that the French military was planning to establish a base in Nigeria. This is coming after a human rights activist, Mahdi Shehu, in a video-accompanied post, claimed that some French military officers had arrived in Borno State as part of the process to set up its base. He criticized the government for denying the development. Meanwhile, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, while reacting in a statement, dismissed the claim as fake and mischievous, urging the public to disregard such claims and such speculations that are still circulating in some quarters. Following reports that a Nigerian airline, Azman Air, helped the Iranian aviation industries to avoid sanctions imposed on it by the United States government, the federal government has said relevant directorates will commence investigation into the issue. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, clarified, however, that issues related to smuggling fall under the jurisdiction of the Nigerian Customs Service. The NCAA spokesperson, Mike Achimugu, speaking with newsmen, stated that smuggling is under the purview of customs, not the NCAA. The controversy stemmed from a report by the Middle East Forum Observer that claimed that Iran's largest airline, Mahan Air, received an Airbus A340-642 wide-body passenger aircraft from Azman Air on November 15, 2024. According to the report, while the aircraft was en route from Kanu to Kabul, its crew reportedly turned off the automatic dependent surveillance broadcast ADSB, transponding at an altitude of 39,000 feet after entering Iranian airspace. The aircraft eventually landed at the Tehran's Mahraba International Airport. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, has charged the Nigerian Air Force to work harder on improving security in the country. Abubakar gave this charge after concluding a 4-day operational tour of the Air Force units in the Southwest. Abubakar reaffirmed the force's commitment to operational excellence, innovation, and personnel welfare. From 12 to 15 December 2024, the CAS inspected key facilities at various units, including 055 NAV Camp Victoria Island and 631 Aircraft Maintenance Depot and the 643 Equipment Supply Depot in Ikeja, as well as the 653 NAV Station and 663 NAV Mother and Child Hospital in Badagry, Lagos State. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has ordered a thorough investigation into the death of two Okwama community leaders, Pa James Ogoroko and Dennis Okubaye, while in army custody. Ogoroko, who was the President General of the Okwama community, and 81-year-old Okubaye, the community's treasurer, reportedly died 6 days apart after being detained by the military. The duo, along with 4 others, Otto Ekpekbo, Chief Bevils Adogbo, Amabel Owemu, and Dennis Malaka, were arrested during a military operations following the killing of 17 soldiers on March 14, 2024, during a peace mission aimed at resolving a dispute between Okwama and the neighboring Okoloba community. A fatal accident involving a J5 Ford bus and a Mercedes truck occurred on the Lagos State Mainland Bridge in the early hours of Monday, claiming the life of 1 person and leaving 5 others hospitalized. According to the Director of Public Affairs and Enlightenment Department, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, Adebayo Taufik, in a statement on X, disclosed that LASMA officials, led by General Manager Olalekan Bakare Oki, arrived promptly at the scene and began rescue operations. Also, emergency response teams, including LASMA, the Lagos Response Unit, the Federal Road Safety Corps, and the Nigerian Police Force and the Lagos State Ambulance Service worked together to manage the aftermath. While confirming the crash, LASMA revealed that the J5 Ford bus, laden with pepper and other perishable goods, reportedly suffered a brake failure, which, while speeding, leading to the collision, adding that survivors were rushed to the General Hospital on Lagos Island for urgent medical attention. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project SERAB has sued President Bola Tinubu at the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos over failure to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi SAN to work with appropriate anti-corruption agencies to probe allegations that over 57 billion naira of public funds are missing, diverted or stolen from the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in 2021 alone. SERAB, in a suit filed at the weekend by its lawyers Kolawole Oluwadare and Olukemi Agumbiede, is asking the courts to compel President Tinubu to direct Fagbemi to work with appropriate anti-corruption agencies to promptly probe the allegation and prosecute anyone suspected to be responsible for the missing 57 billion naira if there is sufficient admissible evidence, and to recover any missing public funds. The damning allegations are documented in the 2021 audited report released by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The organization argued that investigating the allegation and prosecuting those suspected to be responsible for the missing 57 billion naira and recovering the missing funds would end the impunity of perpetrators. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has distanced himself from the empowerment scheme, which promises 65,000 naira to Nigerians, saying it is a scam. Atiku, in a statement signed by his media aide, Paul Libe, said a group claiming to be traveling abroad opportunities has been advertising a so-called Atiku grant by federal government on social media. The statement stressed that the former vice president and the 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party is not currently running an empowerment scheme that purports to give 65,000 naira to successful applicants. Atiku therefore called on security agencies to investigate promoters of the scheme and countless other schemes which aim to scam innocent citizens and bring them to book. The immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has threatened to institute a legal proceedings against an online medium that published a report linking him to an attack on President Bola Tinubu. Bello, who spoke through the Director Media Office of the former governor, Ohai Michael, described the publication as not only mischievous but absolutely senseless, a senseless report. He said that the report, which is part of the desperate plot by irresponsible politicians to strain the relationship between the president and the former governor, is the most laughable twist in their failed bid to execute their bring him down at all costs mirage. Bello further reiterated his support for President Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress, APC. On health matters, the National Health Insurance Authority has said that 19.2 million citizens have enrolled on health insurance schemes, surpassing its 2024 target. The Director General, NHIA, Dr. Kelechi Ohire, disclosed this in Abuja at the Universal Health Coverage Day Commemoration Roundtable to reflect on Nigeria's universal health coverage quest, identify challenges, and chart a course of action. The roundtable was part of the activities lined up for the commemoration of the 2024 UHC Day. Ohiri said this feat was a significant milestone in NHIA's effort to expand access to healthcare for Nigerians under the health insurance scheme, noting that the achievement surpasses the 2024 target and places the nation at 95% of its ambitious 2027 presidential coverage goal. He attributed the success to strategic policy reforms, effective collaboration with stakeholders, and an unwavering commitment to universal health coverage. The Interim Commissioner for Affairs of the Federal Republic of Patrick Imodu has announced the country's plan to reopen its embassy in North Korea. Imodu announced this while paying a protocol visit to the ambassador of Russia in Pyongyang and the North Korean capital. The Russian embassy in North Korea shared the details of the meeting with Imodu in a Facebook post. Nigeria's diplomatic relations were stalled in 2021 after following the United Nations ban on the hiring of expatriates and professionals from North Korea, an Asian country notorious for development of nuclear weapons and missiles in other countries. The United Nations implemented the ban as a sanction in response to the country's nuclear weapon and missile activities. You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, Christine Lagarde says the European Central Bank will continue to cut interest rates. Details of this, as well as business and sports stories, coming right after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the breaking business. National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has disclosed that Nigeria's headline inflation rate rose to 34.60% in November 2024 from 33.88% in October 2024. This, according to the Bureau, shows that the November inflation rate increased by 0.72% compared to October 2024 inflation rate. The Bureau said on year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 6.40 points higher than the rate recorded in November 2023, which shows that the headline inflation rate on the year-on-year basis increased in November to the same month in the preceding year. The agency needs to step up efforts to meet the target set by the agency by President Bola Tinubu, as it eyes a large chunk of 85 million global jobs for youth expected to come through the ecosystem. President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda was anchored on delivering jobs opportunities for Nigerians and creating to reduce the hence, the president instructed that Nigeria should take advantage of its vibrant youth population to leverage digital technologies for wealth and job creation for the country. NITDA Director General Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi said following the rapid development and innovations in the information and communications technology sector, the nation's policy thrust on the digital economy was recalibrated to meet the needs of the country. He further said, given the instructions of the president that NITDA should scale up its activities, the agency entered into collaboration and partnership with major stakeholders such as the Federal Ministry of Education, the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, the National University Commission, NUC, among others, to ensure that digital literacy becomes a common fixture in schools' curriculum and adoption in public and private sectors. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has said that 3.04 trillion naira was spent on importation of raw materials for industrial activities in 2023. Director General of MAN, Shegu Ajayi Kadir, stated this at a town hall meeting between the Minister of State, Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Enoch, and the members and representatives of the organized private sector. He noted that the manufacturing sector is capable of contributing over 80% of the country's non-oil export if the potentials are properly harnessed. Also, the DG lamented that the heavy dependence of the nation on imported raw materials for production exposes manufacturers to global market fluctuations, as he described the manufacturing sector as the backbone of the industrial sector. On the foreign scene, European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde said Eurozone policymakers would further cut interest rates if inflation continues to fall on its path towards the ECB's 2% target. Lagarde said in a speech that the Bank of Lithuania that if the incoming data continue to confirm baseline, the direction of travel is clear and the further lower interest rates are to be expected. The ECB cut rates again last week as inflation looked to be coming under control and the Eurozone economy showed signs of weakness. The quartet point move was the Frankfurt-based central bank's third cut in a row and its fourth since June. The easing cycle has brought the ECB's key deposit rate down to 3% from an all-time high of 4%. And still in the news, rescuers raced against time to reach survivors after a powerful cyclone hit the French Indian Ocean territory of Mayotte, laying to waste the territory's many shanty towns with hundreds of feared dead. Cyclone Chido caused major damage to Mayotte's airport and cut off electricity, water, and communication links when it moved down on France's poorest territory on Saturday. Prefect Francois Xavier expects the final death toll will reach close to 1,000 or even several thousand more. The mayor of Mayotte's capital, Mamoudzou Abdouwadou Somalia, told reporters that the storm spared nothing. Impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol has resisted investigators' calls for him to answer questions over his failed bid to declare martial law this month. Yoon, suspended from office by Parliament since Saturday, faces concurrent probes over alleged insurrection by both South Korean prosecutors and a joint team of Police Defense Ministry and the anti-corruption investigators. South Korea's Constitutional Court has begun proceedings against Yoon and has about 6 months to determine whether to uphold the impeachment. Yoon and some of his inner circle face possible life imprisonment or even death penalty if found guilty, and he remains under a travel ban. And jumping into the world of sports, Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has given mixed messages over his decision to leave Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho out of his squad for Sunday's Manchester derby, insisting there were no disciplinary issues. Eyebrows were raised when both forwards were omitted from the 20-man matchday squad at Manchester City, although the decision was ultimately vindicated as a late double gave United a 2-1 win. Asked about his decision after the match at the Etihad, Amorim was firm that the decision was not a disciplinary thing, though he did not allude to standards he expects at Old Trafford. Harry Maguire has said that Manchester United's dramatic statement win at Manchester City will boost their belief as they adjust to a new system under Ruben Amorim. Josko Gvardiol's header put City on the course for a much-needed win at the Etihad on Sunday, but United captain Bruno Fernandes leveled from the penalty spot in the 88th minute. Amada Diallo won that penalty and then conjured up a memorable 90th-minute winner as Amorim celebrated his biggest win since replacing the sacked Erik ten Hag last month. Meanwhile, United suffer Premier League defeat to Arsenal and Nottingham Forest earlier this month and are still at a lowly 13th in the table after a poor campaign so far. The English Premier League has witnessed a managerial shake-up this 2024-2025 season, with 4 managers parting ways with their clubs in just 7 weeks. As the pressure to deliver results intensify, the revolving door of managerial chances highlights the high stakes and the cutthroat nature of one of football's most competitive leagues. All 4 dismissals were recorded within 49 days from October 28, 2024 to December 15, 2024. The pressure in the Premier League shows no signs of easing as speculation swells about who might be the next managers to face the axe. Meanwhile, momentum is building around potential candidates for the dismissal as the fans decent tactics, result, and squad morale. To end News Express on Global Television, here is a recap of the top stories. The 47.9 trillion 2025 budget presentation to the joint session of the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu, earlier fixed for Tuesday, December 17, has been shifted to Wednesday, December 18. In business, National Bureau of Statistics has disclosed that Nigeria's headline inflation rate rose to 34.60% in November 2024 from 33.88% in October 2024. On the foreign scene, European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde said Eurozone policy makers would further cut interest rates if inflation continues to fall on its path towards the ECB's 2% target. And in sport, Harry Maguire has said that Manchester United dramatic win at Manchester City will boost the confidence and belief as they adjust to the new system under Ruben Amorim. That is how News Express has come to an end. And I want to say thank you very much for joining us. My name is Anthony Momodu.